In this video, we're going to talk about matrix operations. So here are three matrices that we're going to use for this. And first we need to talk about their sizes. So when we talk about the size of a matrix, we're going to talk about basically the rows and the columns of the matrix. So if you take a look at this first one, A has 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and only 1 column at the top. So this is going to be a 3 by 1 matrix. And B is also the same size. You can kind of see visually 3 rows and 1 column. But C, we have actually only 2 rows this time, right? One here and then another one here. And we have 3 columns, 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be a 2 by 3 matrix. The reason why this is important is because whenever you're adding and subtracting matrices, they actually have to be the same size. So if you take a look for A and B, they are the same size. So what you're going to do is you're going to add each element, and an element is just an entry in the matrix. So you're going to add each element to the corresponding element of the other matrix. So in this case, for A plus B, we will have something like 1 plus -2, that is -1. 2 plus 0, that's 2. And then 3 plus 2, that's 5. So your resulting matrix will also be the same size as your 2 matrices that you're adding. So if you take a look at B and C, these aren't the same size, right? B is a 3 by 1 and C is a 2 by 3. So you can't add these. And subtraction is pretty much the same as well. For subtraction, you are just going to subtract each element. So B minus A, well, that will be -2 minus 1. That will be -3. That will be 0 minus 2, so that would be -2. And then 2 minus 1, that would be -1. All right, so moving on, we have scalar multiplication. And this is just basically multiplying a matrix by a number, not another matrix. And what you're going to do is this is also going to be another element-wise operation. So if you have 2 times A, this is the same thing as, by the way, if we wrote this like this, we wrote this like this, 2 times our matrix A, so this would be 1, 2, 3. This is the same thing. You basically just multiply the 2 to every element in the matrix. So in this case, you would end up with 2 times 1, which is 2, 2 times 2, which is 4, and 2 times 3, which is 6. So of course you can also extend this to fractions and other matrices. We have -1/2 C. So if you take a look at C over here, -1/2 times 1, that's just -1/2. -1/2 times 0, that's 0. -1/2 times 2, that's -1. -2 times -1/2 is 1. 1 times -1/2 is -1/2. And -1/2 times 3 is -3/2. So again, you just multiply every single element by the number. Okay, and lastly, we have vector multiplication or matrix multiplication. Okay, so the rules for this are kind of weird. So this is actually what's going to be the most complicated. And if you take a look, this is kind of our rule for multiplication. These are going to be the sizes, A times B, or A by B, and then B by C. The middle 2 numbers actually have to be the same. So let's take a look at some examples here. So A times B, can we do this? Well, let's take a look at their sizes. So A is a 3 by 1 matrix. And then B is a 3 by 1 matrix. So we're doing A times B. So these 2 numbers here are not the same. So we can't multiply this. Okay. Let's take a look at B and C. So B times C is a 3 by 1 matrix. And C is a 2 by 3 matrix. So these two middle numbers, these are not the same number. So these actually, this cannot work either. You can't multiply this. Okay. But now take a look over here at C times A. C is a 2 by 3 matrix, and A is a 3 by 1 matrix. So because these middle numbers are the same, this is actually can work. And so let me show you the process of what this matrix multiplication will look like. So I'm going to write this out here again. So C is this, 1, 0, 2, and then -2, 1, 3. And I'm actually going to write this in a separate color. A is this, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and we have to multiply these two matrices together as such. So what we're going to end up doing is kind of crazy. So our new matrix is going to be this size, 2 by 1. So the remaining numbers that aren't in the middle of the size, this is going to be the size of the matrix, 2 by 1. Okay, but it's going to be, because I'm going to show on work, it's going to be a fairly large box that we need to make. So the first entry at the top, well, that's going to be this. You're going to take this number here, and you're going to multiply with the top number here. So that's 1 times 1. 1, sorry, let me fix this a bit. 1 and 1. So you're going to do 1 times 1. And you're going to add this to 0 times 2. 0 times 2. And then you're going to add this to 2 times 3. 2 times 3. And that is going to be your first entry in the matrix. And you can imagine the second one, you're going to do the same thing but with the second row. So you're going to do this. -2 times the first entry here of the second matrix, which is 1. You're going to add 1, the second entry of the second row. And you're going to multiply it by the second entry in here. So this is going to be 1 times 2. And then you're going to have 3 times 3. So plus 3 times 3. And then after you consolidate all of this, that's when you will have your resulting matrix. 1 times 1 is 1. This is 0. Plus 2 times 3 is 6. That'll get us 7. And at the bottom, we have -2 times 1, which is -2. 1 times 2, that is 2. So combine these, that makes 0. 3 times 3 is 9. So we'll have a 9 at the bottom. And this is going to be our answer for our matrix multiplication, C times A. All right, so that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching.